Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. And today's episode is a review episode. And when we're doing a review episode, you know what that means? It means that we're going to take a look in depth at some tools. And today, our tools are courtesy of Topdon. Now we're looking at this one here, which is the Topdon AD500S. But also, this is at the top end of the scale. We're also looking at the Topscan as well, which is a Bluetooth device which works with your mobile phone. But which one is applicable for either one of you? You're going to find out in this episode of the vlog. So let's continue. Okay, so here's a big question. Why would you want to get yourself one of these scanners? After all, isn't that the reason why we have garages? Well, most garages will actually charge you to do a scan of your vehicle. So if that old engine, yellow engine warning light comes up on your dashboard, the only way to find out what exactly is the issue is by taking your car to a garage. And like we said, most garages will actually charge you for that. But if you're able to scan the vehicle yourself and see what the fault is, you can obviously, hopefully, save yourself the charge of having the scan, because you can tell the garage, based on what this tells you, what the problem is by the scan. And you can even fix it yourself if you feel that you've got the skill. You can use this will tell you what the problem is, and in most cases it is just a sensor that has failed. That's where this comes into handy, or comes in handy. So this is the big boy. We're going to call this the AD500S. That's its nickname. Why would you want this, and where is this geared up for? Well, this is geared up more so for the whole mechanic, the competent mechanic who's obviously doing a lot of work in his own car, likes to do his own servicing. This is a tool for you. But if you're the occasional DIY, you might have some friends that you might want to be able to help to sort out any issues, then you might find this one here more applicable. Certainly from a cost perspective, this is a heavy investment, but the payback is pretty quick. Again, this is a lot lighter and uses your mobile phone via Bluetooth. And we're going to take a look in a second and see exactly how each one works. But just to give you some features of this one, it does have its own inbuilt battery. You can obviously take a look and see what the scan is doing. You can also update this as well to run the latest software, so that you make sure that it's always up to date and covers all your models of your vehicles that you may have. And this can also connect to your Wi-Fi, which means that you can look up troubleshooting codes and find out exactly what the problem is. But you know what? The proof's in the pudding. Let's take a look at this in action. So as we mentioned before, this can update online. So we've got it connected to our Wi-Fi at the moment, and it is now doing a full update of all the various different systems that are on this vehicle, which is really good. So we'll let it do its update, and then we're going to do a scan, and I'll show you some of the features in the way that it does a scan, which is quite unique. Alright, so the update is now completed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get it to do an auto search. So what that means, it's going to search the VIN. So you can see it doing that now. And when it searches the VIN, it should be able to find the vehicle that we are in. And then we should be able to do a diagnostic scan and see what it comes up with. So we give it a couple of minutes to do that. Okay, so it's found the vehicle. So what we want it to do now is we want to do a health report or actually let's do a system scan. So let's do a scan and scan system, and let's see what it finds. This will take a few minutes, and when it comes back, we'll take a look and see what the scanner found.
Moments later.
Right, so what we're going to do now is, now that it's been able to discover it, we're going to take a look and see what DTCs or diagnostic codes that it has found. There we go. So it's found a number of codes. Let's just go down and see what it's found. So it's found 2. And I'm not expecting this to find a lot on this car, because this car is pretty locked down and you need to have an online diagnostic to be able to really have a look at it. But you can see that it's actually been able to find some codes. Now this can communicate with quite a few different vehicles as well, so it's a good all-round tool rather than a specific tool like what I tend to use. I tend to use more specific tools. Okay, so just looking down here briefly, these are the things that it's able to get access to. So we've got the engine electronics, the brake electronics, airbags, and brake boosts. Like I said, the VWs tend to be quite locked down, so it won't let it access any other system, but you kind of get a good understanding of what it can see. Let's take a look at airbags. There should just be one code. Let's see if it picks that up. And it's able to see the ASMs file, which is interesting. It's seeing that it's equipped. Let's see if it can read the airbags. Let's do that. It is touchscreen, by the way, as well. Let's communicate with airbag. Let's see if it picks up the one, and it does. There you go. Front seatbelt not configured. So that's exactly the same error which was being picked up by OBD11. So you can see how good this is. So this is a really good little all-rounder. Let's take a look now and see what the Topscan, which works in a mobile, what that looks like. Okay, so with the Topscan device, the first thing you have to do is connect to it. So you can see at the top there that we're connected to it via Bluetooth. Then once we do that, you then need to go into the app to be able to get to it. And the app you can get from the App Store is just called Topscan. You can see it down there in the bottom corner. And then once you connect to it, you can then connect to the car. And then of course, once you connect to the device, it will ask you to connect to it on the app, and then you can then download your what you need. So I'm downloading the VW pack, and then we'll see what scans that we can see. Actually, there are two for VW, so let's download the other one as well. So we've got two downloading. Oop, no, we don't want to pause, we want to continue. Here we go. So it's downloading them both, and then once that's downloaded, we'll take a look and see what we can find. Okay, right, so let's connect on automatic. So it's going to connect to the VIN, enter the VIN or tap to acquire. Let's see if we can get it to acquire. We'll tap read, and then it will hopefully just acquire the VIN. So it's doing that. You can hear the rain, hopefully. You can't hear the rain, but it's really giving it some. So we can see that it's found the VIN. We're going to confirm. It's going to connect. It's telling us what it's found. It's found the ID3. We'll say okay. Now we'll do a diagnostic. We'll do an auto scan, and it's now going to scan on the vehicle. So we can now select what we want it to scan. So we're going to it's selecting all, but what we'll do is we'll just do the airbag and see if it picks up the airbag. There are a few other things that this car has, but it's the airbag one we want to see if it's consistent with the AD500S. Okay, so we've selected just 3 of the modules. We're going to click on OK down the bottom, and now it's going to do the scan. We're going to say do an auto scan down here, and now it's going to scan those modules and read, and let's see what it finds. So it's found 2 faults on the engine, 1 fault on the airbag, and nothing on the adaptive cruise. So on the one we should see the same code that we saw in the previous one. Let's take a look. So read codes, let's see what the code is. Front seatbelt tensioner module not configured. So exactly what we saw in the previous one, which is consistent in the engine. And then on the engine one, what do we see on that one? Let's read the codes. And we can see radiator airflow module A performance and radiator airflow module A circuit performance. So not a biggie. Let's see if we can clear those codes. So it says turn ignition on. Is ignition on? Yes, the ignition is on in the car. So let's click on yes. Let's see if it clears those. Do you want to continue? Yep, we want to continue. The codes have been successfully erased, and I can hear the motor flicking. so we're okay. No more faults detected. So that's pretty good. I like that. Now you can do other things as well. So you can do adaptions, you can do coding as well, and also you can get security access, which is the code to unlock the module. This is not online as you can do with VC with OBD11, but it's pretty good. So I am pretty impressed with both of these, and they're very good. So like I said, this one is for the big boy mechanic if you've got a number of vehicles, but this one is equally good and uses the power of your mobile to be able to achieve it, and it is Bluetooth. So let's go for a quick summary. Okay, so there you have it. So two good tools. Well, why would you get this over this one when this one is obviously cheaper, using your mobile phone? Well, with this one here, it has the AD500S has a lot more capabilities. So here we can do BMS, so battery management system resets. You can also do brake bleeding with this ABS brake bleedings, and you can do a number of resets with this that you can't do with the handheld one. So that's your main reason for the cost here. So for the do-it-yourself enthusiast, this is a must. This is a really good system to have in your portfolio for the occasional mechanic, etc., and for quick diagnosis, and to be able to do it on the road and be able to use your mobile. Then a Topscan is really capable of doing a diagnostic. To be fair, the Topscan is really quick in terms of the diagnostic, but there is a subscription with this, whereas this one comes preloaded for, I think it's up to 5 years that you get some tools. And as you can see, because an onboard battery, which it actually charges either via USB, or you can use the onboard when you plug it into the OBD, it will actually pull power from that. So fantastic tools from Topdon, and have a go and have a look in the link below if you want to be able to purchase any of those. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have and you enjoy what we do, click on the subscribe button below, click on the bell notification so that you're notified whenever we release any new videos. Have a good one.